3 Live. Hope you're doing well. We're going to review the market, go over the swing ideas for this week. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below. I've also dropped in the description the watch list, copied and pasted the watch list that we're going to go over. So make sure to copy that and let's go over it together. If you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you have any questions for us, reach out. Our email address is info@t3live.com. Again, info@t3live.com. Here we go. I told you last week that I went to all out cash in my 401k because I thought the market was lower and it did drop. So that was a good exit. I didn't like exiting, when was last week? Here or there? I would have liked to have exited at the top, but you can't. I can't get out of the uptrend until it starts to bend a little bit or break. So the market has dropped and now we have a downtrend, an all out downtrend on the hourly chart, as you can see. Daily chart, you could say, broke the trend also. It's not in a well-established downtrend. We would need two pivots, two lower highs, two lower lows to have a well-established downtrend, but we are rolling over. The 20 MA, the blue line, is above current price and we're looking lower. I do remember back in like April of this year, yeah, that was in May maybe, April 25th. I thought the market was lower and then it gapped up and then snapped right back up. In this case, I guess the market had just broken down and then immediately got bought, which happens all the time. In our case here, I mean, the market is broken down about 7 days ago or so and has been selling off. So I don't think that's the case. I do think we're still lower and the next support area is going to be about 357.50 over here, 358, 357.50. If we look at the weekly chart, the rising 20 on the weekly should be the target area. Now we do have a couple of pretty solid red bars on the weekly chart, which means if we actually get down to the 20 MA on the weekly, the bounce back up might fail. And if so, then the next real support, not moving average support, but real price support is 320. That would be a really significant pullback. But we're not there yet. We don't really know at all. For now, I'm looking for that rising 20 on the weekly chart to be my next, to be the target for the market. If you look at the monthly chart, boy, that's like, that's a tough chart to read. It's a double top, not quite a double top, a lower high. The last month's low is 363.40. So we closed at 366. So we break under 363.30. Boy, I don't want to say look out below, but I mean, I think we're going to come in at least, as I said, to about 357.50, 358 on the Qs. The SPY, similar picture, not as extended, not as far away from the 20, and less so even on the IWM. So we'll see, but for now, I'm going to have a bearish bias going into this week. In terms of the bullish ideas, I got AKAM, which is doing a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the daily chart. I don't like that big topping tail, but I think it's okay. So over the base right here, long, stop under it. Okay, that's the AKAM. The DBX, this is a drop box. The daily chart doesn't look so good, but the hourly looks beautiful. So over the base on the hourly chart, because it's creating a rounding bottom. So it's creating a rounding base, I should say. And then stop under the base. Okay, looks nice. Over about 28 with a stop under 27.30. Driven should have been entered into on Friday. So this is a little late, but still looks higher, over 15.20, 15.17. Stop under 14.20, target about $18 on the driven. Just a little late for sure. DSP, I'm in it from the gap day. This looks good on daily, weekly, and monthly. It just needs to break above 530. 624. Stop would be under 550 or so. Okay, so this looks good longer term. It's probably thinly traded. Yeah, it's very thin. Be careful. EQRX is a really pretty hourly base. So over the base, which is 230, stop under it, which is 215. If you look at the weekly chart, it's transitioning and has a 1, 2, 3. This could easily fail, but it's such a pretty chart. So again, over 230 by 215, but could easily fail. Could easily fail. ETRN, I actually think I had it on last week's list, but it didn't trigger. And I still like it higher, over 1006 or 07. I'll show you where I got 1006 from. It's this base right here. So over this little base, 1006, stop under 950, 960 really. And then I don't, this could be target 1, the prior high, but I think this could keep going also. So I like it. ETRN, IFF, big gap down. A lot of times I fade the big gap downs. I buy them when they break out on the hourly chart. So this is what's happening here. It's not a perfect setup, but over $65 long, stop under 63. Okay, 65 by 63. INTC is already an open position. It's doing a buy setup, and I like the INTC long term, but it's been a pain in the because I got it over here, it was up 10,000. I got it over here, it was up 6 maybe, and then it keeps coming back. So I'm hoping it gets going. I like it higher. There's 2 entries. One would be over 35.60. Another one would be over 35.10. Okay, as a daily buy setup, stop under 33.86. Okay, INTC. The LPRO is a big gap down that got bought and has a beautiful hourly chart, hourly base breakout. Just an idea. I don't think it's one of the ones that I picked for the newsletter. By the way, if you're a subscriber, the newsletter has already been completed. You can access it through your customer portal on the T3 Live website, or wait for the email to hit your inbox no later than 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay, MNST looks good. I mean, it's building a nice big base on the daily chart after a major breakout, which we played in the newsletter over here. It had a monthly base breakout, beautiful, closed out of it the day before it reported earnings, and of course this day, and it gapped up. So I've been looking to get back in it for a while, and it looks higher. There was an entry on Friday on that base breakout. There's another entry setting up, but this is a bigger stop, more long term than short term. Long over the base, stop, I would say right here is enough. Of course, down here would be a lot more support, but that would be too big of a stop. So I'm thinking over $58, $59, let's just say $58.86. Stop under 56.96. So it's about a $2 stop. NCR is a daily base breakout. It triggered actually on Friday, but it's not too late. Over 29.40. Stop under 28.30. It looks beautiful after a big, nice gap up. We are in the relay. It's the same concept. A gap up and then a base breakout. Okay? So here it is. NCR, a gap up and then a base breakout. So I like it. Rig, we have the FTI, which is an oil stock that's been doing really well from the breakout over here. And it looks really, really good still. Target on it is about $25 or so, I think. The rig is maybe the next one here. Over the base, the issue with the rig is we got to use the shakeout bars low as the stop. So that would be the stop right here. Entry would be over the base. So over about $9 or so, stop under 7.67. One can use the tighter stop, but a lot more likely to get shaken out. So right here. But again, a lot more likely to get shaken out. And then AT&T got in it on when it went climactic, it gapped up, and then I had to run away from it because it started to break down. Now it's trying to do a higher low. So I like it higher over 14.40 with a very tight stop under 14.12. If you want a wider stop, can use 13. Wow, it's not a huge difference. Probably should use I was planning on using 14.12 as a stop. Probably should use 13.89. It's not much of a difference, and it's a lot more secure. It's a pivot. This isn't a pivot. So I like it more long term. AT&T, the yield on it is probably like 6-7%. So it's also a good long-term stock in terms of the dividends. So that's what I like. VZ also looks good, but not as good, but looks okay. Similar picture. They will both either work or fail. VZ and Verizon and AT&T. Yelp is a buy setup. So here it is. Beautiful uptrend. Deep pullback a little bit, but like it higher over 43.60. Stop under 42.20. Also W, which is Wayfair, is a buy setup. So it looks okay. 75.32 by 71.22. The YTEN, okay, this is a little bit different. I normally wait for at least 2 bars after the gap to form before I get long or short. In this case, I think it's good enough over 46. Stop under 38 as a long, and the sky's the limit. Has a lot of room. I would aim for the hourly 20 MA, honestly. So I don't know where it will be at when price catches up, but maybe 80 cents, maybe 75. So I like it on that base breakout. And lastly, the Z, which is an open position, it looks higher still. If you look at the Zillow monthly chart, that looks nice. Weekly looks good too. So I like it higher over the base, stop under it. If you want to check out the watch list in the description, it's a longer watch list. So I have more symbols in there if you want to just take a look. Shorts, I got 4, but again, there's more in the video description. I have the CUTR, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 on the daily chart, hourly base breakdown. So short under the base, stop above it basically. The I is a gap, it didn't gap down, actually it gapped up on earnings, but then got sold and has a 1, 2, 3. So like it under 1967 by stop over 2020. Tight stop. The only thing I don't like about it is the prior support is not too far below. So if you do it here, it means you'd be counting on the support breaking or on the stock breaking the support because there's not much room to the prior low. So it wouldn't make sense to do it. FNKO, these are all the same concept, the gap down and then the base. Sometimes the base is several days, several bars, sometimes just a couple of bars. So this would be under $6, short, stop over 660. Okay, just a base breakdown. And then NVEI honestly triggered on Friday, but I don't think it's too late. It's a 1, 2, 3 after a gap down. So short under this bar's low, which is 1650, stop over 1830. It's a big stop, but it does look lower. And unfortunately, those are like the best 4 shorts that I could find. So I have a lot more long watches than I do shorts. And normally when the market is bearish, you would wanna go with the market, not against it. But that's all I could find. I wish you all the best of luck if you decide to take any of these plays. And if you'd like to subscribe to the newsletter, check out the description below. Thank you so much. I'm Sami Absad with T3 Live. Good trading, everybody. Ciao.